Alright, welcome back. I've got a couple of lanyards. They're not exactly what I was after, but they're just double looped. Got a loop on each end. I think they're 500mm long. I got 4 because that was a sort of a economic price point. Got the jackhammer on one, just wrapped around a couple of times around the handle. The 2 ends looped over the hook. I got another one sort of looped over the handle, back on itself, and under the hook. So the idea is I'll lift up the jackhammer and the bucket and lower them both down at the same time. Perfect. Just enough slack in the cable to unhook it, and I can do some jackhammering and lift up a bucket when I'm done. That's the plan. I stopped the hook too high. So I have to use this lanyard now. Note for future, make the hook go down lower. What I'm trying to do is have this bucket on the lanyard, and I'm going to hook this bucket up directly to the hook. I might put the lanyard, I don't know, it doesn't even matter. Still haven't lowered it down far enough. Lift that up there, put this on here, like that. So the idea is it lifts up this bucket, and then the lanyard will take up, slacken the lanyard will take up, and then it'll lift up the second bucket. Right, up to the hoist. Well, that answers that question. The winch won't lift 2 buckets. So I could use this, but I don't know, because I've got to put, to use this I've got to put the winch, just take it out of the bag, hey? Got to put the cable through there, and I don't know how I would do that other than pulling this apart, but I think this is like it's a rivet. Maybe this plate does come off. This isn't done up very tight, because it's got to go inside it. I suppose you take this bolt off and these 2 little bolts, that's where they're loose. But I need a spanner for that, or 2 spanners actually. I don't have 2 spanners down here. Should I go and get them? I think I should. Put these ones through. Alright, it'll keep the cable where it's meant to be. This will be the fun part, because I've got to get the bolt through. A little nylon bush there. Let's just call him George, eh? George Bush. Get the other George, George's brother. Was it Seb or something? Sebastian Bush, I can't remember. Anyway, try and poke that in there with my poker. It's not going to fit. Poker's too big. Let's use this part of a pair of glasses. Safety glasses. None of these Colin Furze safety squints around here. I've got the real thing. Alright, so couldn't find a spanner, a shifter, so next best thing. Some people call them, I call them vice grips. Some people call them multi-grips, but multi-grips are different. Should just lock on if you get it adjusted right. A little bit looser. Loosey. A bit more. A bit more. Click. Spanner. 50% chance of getting it right. Same as when you put a USB stick in. I think it needs to be too tight, otherwise it's just going to grip down on that, isn't it? It's a nylock nut, so it shouldn't come off. So this has got to come off. This end comes up with me. Hook it on the winch. This end goes around here. Second lanyard for the other bucket. This isn't working out as easy as I thought it would. I did get some good ideas from people commenting on my last video. Right, quick battery change. Yeah, so I haven't had time to make up or buy a spreader bar or a deer hanger, something like that, to have the two buckets side by side. And the same with making up a base with chains, like what Dale does, or did. Dale used to do that. So both, pros and cons. This method should work, but it's probably a bit fiddly. At least now I know that the 2 buckets exceeds the weight of the single pull winch. It just means now everything's going to be half the speed. Some people say I'm a bit slow anyway, so they use a different word, but anyway, I'm going to hook this on and see what happens. Well, that didn't work very well. It was hard to get the bucket off, the bottom bucket, as in get over to the wheelbarrow. And you'll see, I'll show you in a minute, at the top, the hook didn't go through the hole on the winch that it's meant to go through. So anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll just stick with one bucket, and if I want to lift up more, I'll get a bigger bucket, or I'll make a wooden, some contraption. Anyway, so I'm going to stick with one bucket, but I'll leave the reduced system on for now and see what happens. So off with the bottom bucket for now. There we go. I'll put the top bucket back on. So I won't bore you to tears, but I'll fill this bucket up, take it up, and then I'll show you what I've done at the top temporarily, because the hook wouldn't fit through the hole. Alright, so that's what I did to get it to work. but obviously it's not good because this hook wouldn't fit through the hole. It's just, they probably designed it for a different hook and then shipped it with this hook. I don't know. So this is pretty ordinary, but it's going to work. So I will do it for now. Let's go. Now, normally I think that should actually be on this side. Maybe I stuffed up when I put it on. Now I think about it, I probably did. I should have put this cable, should be in this side of this stopper, so when it goes up it activates the stop. So that's a cock up by me. I'm still undecided whether I really want to run it looped like this because it's half the speed. Now I'll definitely go back to the single hook, and no, it's flicked back. When I stopped it, this when you have the cable slack and you hook it on and you start pulling it up, sometimes this side of the cable comes around over here and bypasses this half of the pulley. So yeah, I don't know, it's pain. It's probably less of a pain to climb up and down more often than to try and lift up too much weight. So one day I'll convert it back to single pull and just put up with that. And I might think about a box type arrangement that I can leave suspended so it won't do this. Oh, the other thing I want to think about is what Lex suggested a while back, is a grappling hook type thing. Well, I don't know how that's going to work because I'll have to lower the. I put a grappling hook on the bottom of this, and then hook it and then lift it up. I'll think about that. It's not a bad idea. I just don't know how practical it is when you've got the steel hook and then a grappling. I'll think about it. And of course, in the long run, what I want to dream about is having an auto unloader somehow. Probably a wooden box with a pivot just above the center of mass, and then have it come up, and if I have the winch sort of here somewhere, so it's pulling up, sliding up some rails, it'll want to go this way at the top, and then if the top somehow hits something and it keeps pulling, because the pivot points, the pulling point is at just above the midpoint, I suppose, so it doesn't flip over when you're pulling it up. It'll tip and then tip it into something here. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I reckon it'll work. I've just got to think about it a bit more. Anyway, I'm going to pack up. Looks like it's going to rain. Thanks for watching, and keep on digging.